Alright, good morning everybody. So today we have week 3 of the vlogs leading up to prep. Today we're going through a high carb day. So first off, so far, just quickly opening up this bowl of oats. Add an extra 40 grams of oats to here. I'm going to add one slice of English muffin with some jam, and go from there. And we've got the kitty cat. Bugsy's going to join us as well. So when we get into this, I'm going to head to work, and from there, I'll talk to you in a bit. I did also forget that we're supposed to be having 150 grams of egg whites with one egg, but we won't be cooking that now. Because I don't have much time. I've got to head to work, but we'll get back to it after. And yeah, I'm a hungry man. This is the new place. Quick little look around. I'll show you more about it later. That's it. Alright guys, so today we're going to be taking you through my little chest workout. So it's a bit of chest, shoulders, chest and shoulders today. So what we're going to get up to first is incline hammer strength press. Now, the way I like to do this, take a look at my form. I'll go through the form first. So you want to make sure that you're sitting up against the bench nice and tight, bum up against the bench and upper back up against the bench, chest out. A mistake that a lot of people make, they tend to make, is they'll push their bum forward on the pad. And from there, what you're doing is you're changing the angle of how you're actually doing the movement. So you're changing it from an incline press almost into a flat press pretty much. So you'll be able to lift more weight, yes, but you're not really targeting the part of the chest that you want to. So make sure that you're doing it that way. Obviously feet pressing into the ground nice and strong. Driving through the feet is gonna assist you in keeping stronger all throughout the movement and tighter, nicer, stronger core, and therefore you'll be able to lift better and with more intent. Now, you can see I'm kind of using some feeder sets to kind of work up to my top set here. If you don't know what a feeder set is, it's pretty much just a warm-up set. All we're doing is we're just increasing the weight slowly, completing anywhere between pretty much 3 to 5 reps. Sometimes I'll go a little bit heavier, depending on how warmed up I feel on that day, and I'll complete, maybe go like 10 kilos, 5 kilos lighter than the top set weight, and just complete 1 rep just to get the feel of it. If I'm really cold, but if I'm warmed up already, well, I'll kind of just go straight for it when my body feels ready. And so listening to your body in these movements is pretty key, especially with heavier presses or heavier movements in general, because you don't want to walk out with a freaking injury. So, as you can see, I've just pressed, I believe that's, we've got 67.5 kilos on the weight. Not too sure many reps here I've completed, but what we're going to be doing is a bit of a rest pause. So I've just taken a little bit of a break in between my set, and we'll try to squeeze out a few more reps just so that I can push myself a little bit past failure. See how many we'll get, not that many. There's 1, and we're going to push for a second, and now I'm just going to get some force reps out, just create a bit more tension on the chest. But you can see throughout the movement I try and stay very tight, right? That's the most important thing here. Too many people, they kind of cave in. So they'll cave their chest in, their shoulders, they'll round them, and what that'll do is they'll cause their shoulders to be more in front of the chest, which means that you're going to be hitting your shoulders more, and you're not actually going to be recruiting your chest as much. So keeping your chest high, a slight arch in the back and outwards is going to be most beneficial in actually hitting the muscle that you're trying to hit with intent, which is exactly what bodybuilding is. You want to work the muscle that you're working with intent, all right? You don't want to just be moving the weight around. So each rep here, I'm feeling the tension through the chest fibers, and I'm trying to get a nice squeeze and control on the way down. So here we've got the back off set. I believe I completed this 40 kilograms for 20 reps. I've got my mate here, Adrian, to help me out, possibly get me a few extra reps. It's pretty much just going for an AMRAP here. I was aiming for 15, but once I hit 15, I realized I could get more, so I just kind of went for it. Obviously, you want to try and hit failure if you're going to be doing top sets and back offsets, so that you're making the most of that lower volume kind of way of training. All right, next up on the list we have incline barbell press. So typically I like to have incline Smith machine press here, but that was taken up by someone doing calf raises, standing calf raises and hogging the machine for about an hour. But nonetheless, despite that fact, we push forward and we find an alternative. So I decided to go barbell incline press. We're obviously controlling the weight here. Once again, like I said before, moving the weight with intent. So you really want to control on the way down. I'm pausing for a slight moment at the bottom to create tension on that stretch position and pressing through my palms, squeezing at the top. Now you don't need to lock out all the way on these, especially if you're just trying to obviously, hit your chest, as it is a chest movement. But I'm comfortable enough that I'm able to kind of like get close to lockout and comfortably feel it mainly in my chest. So what we're doing here is also a rest pause. Got 60 kilos on the bar, we're going for 10. And then I believe resting 30 seconds, and we're gonna hit another few reps, rest 30 seconds again, hit another few reps. So once again, it's just an intensity technique that we're using here, similar to like a drop set or a superset, which using intensity technique is going to help you get through plateaus, pushing you past failure, all that kind of jazz. You need to know when to use them. You shouldn't be using them just willy-nilly, pretty much. You want to have a reason for using them, especially at the start of a program. So if you chuck them in at the start of the program, you're not allowing yourself room for progression, right? Obviously, as you go further into your program and you're trying to induce progressive overload, which is the key, which is key for building muscle. Adding things like these is going to assist you in getting there. So yeah, so we just did another 5 reps. Obviously, I'm getting my little rest in, and we're going to go for a few more. I decided to give this rest pause a little bit more of rest in between, mainly because generally I do Smith machine, like I said, after my hammer strength press. But since that option wasn't available, it's a free weight movement, which means that it's going to be a little bit more taxing. I'm going to have to engage my core a lot more and stabilize the bar, as opposed to a machine where that's not completely done for you, but it assists you in doing that. So I decided to add a bit more rest in, and that's failure, ladies and gentlemen. If I went for another rep, I probably would have killed myself. Next up on the list, we have machine cable chest press, or cable chest press rather, seated cable chest press. Typically, I do like to have machine flat press in here, but once again, here and there, you're able to, depending on your training style and stuff like that, swap out exercises, similar exercises. So that's exactly what I decided to do on this day. I decided to be a little bit cheeky and swap out the machine flat press for a seated cable press. And to be fair, I quite enjoy this a lot more. So I'm able to get like a really good stretch on these and a really good squeeze. It's obviously going to change your stability a little bit more, but it's still cables. It's still cables. You're going to get tension throughout the whole movement. I love them. We've got another angle for you as well. So I really just wanted to get another angle here so I could show you exactly how I perform them. Similar to the hammer strength press that I mentioned before. You kind of want to obviously have your bum up against the back, chest high, chest out, bit of an arch in the back. I think I move my bum slightly forward so I can get just a touch of a decline angle on these. I can't really recall, doesn't really matter. But you want to stay nice and high. So one thing that I see a lot of people doing, especially when they're approaching failure in their sets, is their form will start to fuck up. They'll start to try and throw the weight around just to get the weight up. If you're doing that, you're really not getting anything out of it, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, with hypertrophy, with bodybuilding, you want intent when you're actually training the muscle, right? So trying to get the weight up for no reason isn't really gonna push that muscle closer to failure. You want to fail with perfect form. Now my camera died, so all the other videos, all the other exercises from here on forward were recorded with my phone. I accidentally recorded this one in portrait, but you still get the idea. Can't exactly remember what I did here, but it was obviously seated flies. So obviously with chest, you know, you've got adduction, abduction, and you've got a pressing movement. So I'm always going to add a adduction movement, something like a fly, into the mix. I typically like to finish with it. Now you can see similar thing here when I mentioned approaching failure. You want to keep that form across every rep. You don't want to just like try and get the weight up, fuck up the form, and then obviously just, you know, you're not really getting any benefit out of it. So I'm getting a nice squeeze at the top, controlling the way down, pausing for a slight moment at the bottom. It's all controlled. I'm not like, you know, throwing the weight around, getting to the bottom and flinging it back up like an elastic band. You want control on these movements. Now I believe I was doing a drop set with these. I think this was the last set. So what I was doing was pretty much just taking each set to failure, I believe. Really keeping the form across all reps the exact same, and just drop the weight as we go. Pumping out a few extra reps, force reps. I think the weight was a little bit light with this one, so I'll try to speed it up a little bit. So I'm giving it a nice big squeeze at the end. And all I'm doing here is pretty much just an isometric, just really forcing blood into the chest for the last chest exercise of this session. I think I'm holding it for about 20 seconds, so that's why I was just looking back and checking the clock. And you're really pressing your palms together here really nice and hard as you can. For that time period, pump as much blood as you can into the chest and onto the next exercise, which is shoulder press. So we've got seated barbell shoulder press now. Once again, here we have a top set. Just one set I was going for here. I didn't want to induce too much fatigue. Obviously there was a lot of pressing today, and I've still got another shoulder day at the back end of the week. So I just wanted to get something decent in here. We've got a top set. It's a cluster set of 5 sets of 4. So I'm having a little bit of a break in between here. So what we're doing here is basically taking a weight that I can do about 12 reps with, right? And instead of going just for 12 reps and almost like a rest pause, 12 reps, pretty much failure, rest, failure, rest, failure. What I'm doing is I'm breaking up the set and elongating the set so that I'm able to almost get 20 reps instead of 12 reps with that same weight, right? So once again, another intensity technique that I use. And over the weeks, if I look back at the training log, I can obviously see this stuff works, you know, because the first week I started at 40 kilos, second week 45 kilos, third week 46.25, got it for 19 reps, and the fourth week 46.25 kilos, but got it for 20 reps. So even one rep is still progression. And sometimes you're not going to progress the same as you do, you know, towards the start of a program. That's just expected, that's just normal. So going here, I'm giving myself about 15 seconds rest in between these clusters. Similar kind of thing. I'm just bringing it down to about my chin. If I bring it any further, I start to get a little bit of pain in my, it feels like it's a bit of an impingement. Once again, that's failure, ladies and gentlemen. Control on the way down, re-rack it. Shit myself there for a second, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but it starts to get a little bit of impingement, so I'll bring it down to a comfortable position. I'm still gonna be hitting the shoulder exactly how I want it. Second last exercise, we have shoulder press. So today I opted to do dumbbell shoulder press. Generally I do the hammer strength machine, but I believe that was taken as well. So, you know, face your adversity, find an alternative. we're going to go into dumbbell press, seated dumbbell press. Once again, control. Control on the way down. Nice little pause, squeeze at the top. And you want to be making sure that you're pushing with your shoulders, right? A lot of people are just going to throw the weight around. Once again, if you're going for strength, not even throwing the weight around, yes, you'll get strength out of it, you know what I'm saying? You'll get progression, but are you really working the muscle that you're trying to work? More than likely you're not. Unless you're Ronnie Coleman or Branch Warren or something like that, where they're able to do that, but their mind-muscle connection is just absolutely ridiculous that they'll grow with whatever they will do. So that was just the top set for the, I think that was the last set, sorry, for the shoulder press. Went for 20 kilograms, sorry. There's 3 sets, 20, 15, and 8. Went for 20 reps on the 14 kilos, 16 kilos for 15 reps, and 20 kilos for 8 reps. Here we have cable Y raises. So this is what I've opted for today. Once again, generally I do dumbbell side laterals, but one of those exercises you're able to change up week to week kind of thing, here and there. I'm feeling something a little bit different, I'll feel it. I'll try it out, you know. No harm in that. And I'll try to get another angle here for you guys as well, once again, so you can see the kind of form that you're going for. You want to start with your arms slightly bent. You want to be clenching the handles quite tight. That's going to allow your wrists and your elbow and all the joints to be nice and strong and firm throughout the movement, and allow you to connect with the muscle you're trying to work better with less issues. So obviously I cut half my body off, didn't realize when I was recording it, but you get the gist. So we're obviously bringing it out high into a Y shape like you saw in the first clip. We're getting a nice squeeze, bringing it just in front of our body. So you don't want to be crossing them, because once you start crossing them together, you're taking the tension off the shoulder. You want to keep the tension on the side delt the whole time throughout this movement, throughout every movement pretty much. And that's it, ladies and gents. Let's go.